Hello everybody, and welcome back. I know it's been a while since the last episode, thankfully not as long as the gap between episodes 1 and 2. But today, we've got another iteration in the fan favourite series, Investigating Beware. This time, it's episode 3. In today's episode, we're going to be looking at the enemies of the game, and I know we looked at them in the last episode. However, I felt the entire video was kind of rushed, and I didn't cover a lot of things that I wanted to. Since then as well, I've uncovered a lot of new techniques to look really, way deeper into the game's files than ever before. So I've used those, and I feel like this time, instead of moving on to other things I'd like to talk about, such as the story or the crazy laser bus, I'd give the enemies a proper look at. So without further ado, let's get into it. By decompiling the game's files and reconstructing them into a Unity project, I was able to get a much better look than ever before at the game's inner workings. Today we're going to be focusing on this. This is an enemies object in the game's hierarchy. It contains all of the enemy cars in the game, so we're going to go through one by one, analysing them and kind of seeing what they do. So the first is called Empty Larder. We're going to skip that for now, we're going to come back to that. Next up is Larder, which is the first car that chases you from the power station. This is named and modelled after a real-life Larder, which is a Soviet Union era car. Similarly, the second car to chase you is called a Dacia, Dacia being a Romanian car company which is still around. And from what I can tell, the car seems to be modelled quite closely to the Dacia 1300 from 1973. I'll put a picture up on the screen. From Larder phases to base location Dacia 2, these are all markers or locations used by the game's code for various different reasons. So after that is the Larder SWG. This is a confusing one because when we enable the object, you can actually see that this is the friendly car that you have to help out for one of the in-game missions. I'm not really sure why this isn't the enemy sub-object, but it is. You know, the main topic of this is for another video, as it's quite lengthy. However, I will mention the first object in this list, the Empty Larder. This is the exact same car, and it actually has the child in. I think when you complete this mission, it switches to that car or something, or it uses that car as a position to get to. I haven't quite worked that one out yet. So the next item in the list is the T613 or T613. This car is again modelled after a real-life car, the Tatra 613 or 613, I hope I haven't mispronounced any of these. This is a large luxury vehicle manufactured by Czechoslovak manufacturer Tatra from the 1970s to 1990s. This enemy is first seen chasing the previous car containing the mother and baby. The player is supposed to help the mother out by distracting, kind of intervening the car that's chasing them. From there, once the player and mother have both lost this car, the player then needs to find the mother, who will lead them to the garage, underground garage, the very far reaches of the map, past the dam. At this point the car gets repaired and upgraded with a faster engine. As you can see in the Unity project, the T613 actually starts positioned where it is after you've been to the underground garage, because on your way back from getting the upgrade, this car kind of pounces on you and it starts chasing you when you go around that corner. And even though it technically starts the game by chasing the mother car, that Alma is called, it actually starts up on this hill. As well, if you see in this image, you pass two invisible checkpoints on the road. This is what triggers the T613 to begin its proper chase of the player. Also at this time, the third chase theme starts to play, which is a bit different from the first two. Let's have a listen now. Continuing on with the list, we see another T613, which is positioned next to the dam and the whole town power switch. As far as I can tell, this T613 is not actually used in the game in any scenario, as I found no traces of it mentioned in any script or code, and it never gets activated or triggered by anything. There is, however, another car in this area named the Arrow or Aero 2G. The Arrow is based off of another real-life car, similar to the many types of off-road vehicles manufactured by Romanian company Arrow, which is short for Auto Romania. Once upgraded, if you go back to the dam area after losing the T613, you're able to bust through the fence, as you see in this footage here, which allows you to go down the tunnel. I think before I just teleported in, which is kind of cheating, but this is how you actually get in. Once you drive all the way to the end gate, this will activate a trigger, and it will cause this Arrow 2G to charge straight towards the player and burst through the gate. Now, by losing these and then returning to the dam, you can activate the second power switch, and this restores power to the entire rest of the town. Finally, go back to the list. The final item is a car that's in the map, part of the map that's really far away. You have to drive through a valley at the very top of the map. I think it's the north of the map. And basically by going down this road, you'll encounter another town, like an entire other town, and it's got its own dam. And by driving up to this dam through the trigger shown in this image, the final enemy car is triggered and it starts chasing the player. This car is another Dacia, which is exactly like the second car from the first power plant. However, this time no cool music plays. So, that's it. That's all the enemies in the game as of now. Now, the preview 008 version is out on Patreon. This includes a new map completely and a new enemy, and it's currently detached from the main area. As it's separate from the main area, I kind of thought I should cover it in its own video, which will probably be next episode. So stick around for that. I'd like to thank everybody for the support on the last video, as it's done really well, and I'd also specifically like to thank Rundon for allowing me to use his trainer mod code to look into the scripts and variables of objects in the game. The Unity project has allowed me to see a lot of things in the game that I couldn't see before, and it's currently not finished as it's not actually playable. The scripts don't work, but I'm trying to get that to work now, because that would be really, really good. So, if you'd like to see more, it's a bit inconsistent, my upload schedule, so I would recommend subscribing and turning on the notification bell just so maybe you know when I upload. There's a lot more to this game, and just looking back into this and taking a deeper look really got me excited into this, so it's an absolute blast to work on. So thank you very much for watching, I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.